Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not you should pull Nautica. So the question is, should you pull Nautica? Yes.
Every night brings a dream, but the day relentlessly keeps me away. All the rest will be torn up whenever a choice is made. Everyone has their own desire.
With that out of the way, let's actually talk about the topic. Now, first of all, whether or not you should pull Nautica depends on you. However, there are certain things that you might not realize, and that's why the video is here. You might think it's a brain-dead decision, but it's a little bit more complicated than what you think, because there's multiple characters coming out, there's multiple back-to-back patches, there's multiple teams that you can build if you want. And there is the future Reverie that is going to require 6 teams. There's multiple limited characters that have been rerunning, and they will be rerunning back to back to back to back. All the other characters that you might need, and if you are free to play or you are low spender and you pulled so far for the AC collab, you pulled Ezio, you pulled Cassandra, or maybe just Ezio, now you have to choose which one do you want to do. Do you want to do Dynamo team with Lucy, or do you want to do Blood Tide with Nautica? Now, you have to remember that if you have some of the characters already of these two teams, then it will it's basically saying that you should go for that, technically, because you have to do less effort, you have to pull less characters, right? So if you happen to have, let's say, Ezra, that doesn't really tell you anything, because it can be both at the same times. But if you have, like, Ulrich is going to be free, if you already have Lucy, or Lucy is the only character that is missing, and you have, let's say, these two characters, and you plan on playing Dynamo, and you really like Dynamo, maybe instead of pulling 4 characters, you can pull only 2, which is Lucy and Charon. Now, you need to always remember that these characters of both teams are going to be appearing back to back to back. So you're going to have Lucy rerun with her Euphoria at the same time, plus Ulrich is going to be free, so that's good. And then if you have Ezra laying around, that's basically it. You just need to get Charon on the next patch in 3.0, and that is it for the team, right? So you could opt for that. And there's also a question mark regarding Corvus, which is coming in 3.1 after Robuska on phase 2. So she is kind of far away from Charon. It's like a patch away-ish, because it's going to be phase 2 and then phase 2 for the 2 characters. But there's something to keep in mind. So maybe you can skip Lucy and get Charon. But getting back to the topic, Blood Tide is a very expensive team if you don't have Ezra and if you don't have Semmelweis. That's why it depends on which characters you have laying around, or whether or not you are free to play, or if you have pools or not. How many pools you have saved, have you been lucky? It doesn't matter who you pulled for. If you have a lot of leftover pools, then it might be safe to pull for everybody. Remember that if you want to do Blood Tide, you need a Nautica, then you need, for the best slot team, you need Semmelweis, Euphoria, Sentinel, and Robuska. Now, if you don't have Robuska, or you don't want to pull Robuska, it's fine. You can use Ezra, Blood Tide, and you can use other healers like Medicine Pocket, Fatutu. It's not that big of a deal. The healer is the last slot that you should give a fuck about, because this team, let's say 3 teams, be like 3 characters of the Blood Tide, without the healer, the proper healer, they are already clearing everything, they are already shitting on everything, they're destroying the stages. So you shouldn't worry about, like, oh my god, I'm missing one character, is the healer, should I get it? Obviously the healer is going to help a little bit, but it's not important, so you could technically just not get the healer, not get Robuska, and get someone else instead. Like, use someone else that you have laying around. A lot of people are going to have Fatutu because of Fua. A lot of people might have Medicine Pocket because it's a standard character. Some people might have Ezra. In that case, that's good. You can use that with Ezra, as long as you don't want to use Ezra for Dynamo. And just pull Nautica, right? Nautica P0 is already broken. In CN, I have never leveled, my Nautica is P0, level 1 of I3. And she's only R10 with her side tube level 60 because it's a really strong side tube and I need it. And you need like more HP and stuff like that. That said, level 1 P0 Nautica, she's already, I didn't even remember, I forgot that she's not max level. That's how she feels. She feels like really strong where you like forget that you're, I don't have resonance 10, lol. Because she's so strong and she's so powerful that you don't have to worry about anything else. Technically, you could even just pull Nautica and then use her with a random bunch of characters like Flutter Page, I don't know, Mercuria Fatutu, and she will just do everything on her own. The only problem is the blood type. That's why I would strongly suggest you to pick up multiple characters. If you are going blood type, you are now going for the whole team. In one way or another, be it now, be in the future, you should going for a full team, because the way this works is that when they lose HP, blood type will go up. So the more often they do it, the more often they lose 3k HP, because every 3k is 3000 HP lost by the whole group in conjunction, like combined, is one blood type. So by losing a factor of HP by everybody constantly is going to give you a lot of blood type. So the more blood type characters, the easier and faster it is for you to get more score there, more numbers on the blood type, and then which means that you whenever you do the ultimate with Nautica, you're gonna nuke the screen. So keep that in mind. That is going to be really like a little bit more cringe if you just have Nautica. If you don't have anybody else, you can. It's still justifiable and understandable to just pull Nautica alone, but you need to remember to then try to pick up Semmelweis. This is your last chance, by the way, to pick up Semmelweis, like specifically, because she's a standard character. The only way for you to get her is to lose to her. But now, since she has her Euphoria spawning in 2.8, she will be in the Euphoria banner. So she could rerun in the future in the Euphoria banner of other characters, or she could be appearing in the Golden Cassette shop. However, that's not something that you can just hope, you know when it's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. So it's important to remember what are your chances and what is going to happen. So you can not get the healer, that's okay, and use your pulls for Nautica and at least Semmelweis if you can. Because these characters are really working like well together. They're gonna synergize well together, and you can just fill the slots with other people. Now I've had some confused people in the comments. Why Flutter Page? Because she does FUA, and the force field from Flutter Page is going to help do even more damage from Nautica. So, the ultimate counting as FUA is kind of a big deal considering how much damage it does. So it's just a placeholder. I'm not telling you that is the best slot team. That is the placeholder. If you don't have anything else to play, but you wanted to pull Nautica, those are options. So you could use those characters. You can check like whatever you want in other website. They're going to say the same thing. That Flutter Page and Fatutu could be a good replacement, a good replacement, and Fatutu is good regardless as a healer. You can just use Fatutu with Nautica all the time, and it's going to be good as well. Same reason, and she also heals for FUA, and then she also heals very frequently and a decent amount, so you're gonna eventually you can keep everybody alive and they can keep removing their HP. So the long answer is yes, you should pull Nautica, but you should pull Nautica if you do this calculation in your mind, this planning in your mind. How many pulls do you have? How can you afford to get at least 2 or 3 characters of the blood type? Or do you want to go for something else? If you want to go for something else, just go for something else and ignore Nautica. You have to remember that this is probably, we don't know if Lucy is ever going to be rerunning again. Because we don't know how is it going to work for the double rerun. Let's assume we are on year 3 and Lucy is supposed to rerun. But so is the previous, but so is Nautica, right? There is this new character that is limited in like of 3.8, let's say, in 1 year from now. Nautica is supposed to be rerunning, and then is it going to be 3 reruns? Because Lucy was supposed to be rerunning as well. I don't know how they're going to handle the triple rerun. Are they going to have triple limited rerun? Do the limited only rerun twice in their life? Because if that's the case, then you should maybe think about it and think whether or not you should pick up Lucy before it's too late. Or maybe they go into a legacy banner, legacy limited standard banner. I have no idea. They might do something like that. Keep that in mind. We don't know how that works, and we might never see Lucy ever again on a normal banner, on like her own banner. Keep that in mind. That said, if you can afford to pick up the characters, pick them. I would go personal recommendation. I would go for Nautica. Nautica is really good, and she is like new. The team is really strong, and it's probably also pretty future proof because it scales with like HP loss, like the mechanic. So it doesn't really. How are you gonna make it better than Nautica, or how are you gonna make it better than anybody else? Like even if you replace a couple of elements here and there, Nautica is still gonna be there. On as the main DPS, and she's limited, which implies she's going to be really good. And even if she falls off, she's going to eventually get a Eureka as well, Euphoria as well. So yeah, that's pretty simple. So well, that is it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.